Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday to you on this December 4th, 2025. I got all of your stories for your rush hour ride to work, and we are just quickly getting to the end of 2025. Can you believe it? Several weeks left, but boy, do we have a lot of stories. This whole year we've been following Justin Baldoni versus Blake Lively, but how about this? Justin Baldoni's wife has entered the chat. We have what she said in text messages, which is the whole Baldoni fan base is now saying justice for Emily. She absolutely roasts Blake Lively, which is everything you want in a partner. You want someone who's going to go to battle with you. So we'll get into that story. And then we're going to have this spat. Speaking about going to battles, we've got Nick Viall from the Viall Files and his wife, Natalie, on their show, mom-shaming Whitney Leavitt from Dancing with the Stars and the Mormon show, right? Whitney from Dancing with the Stars has got a lot of stuff on her plate here, not just the reality TV world, but she's going to be starring in Chicago. And fans online, I'm telling you, my TikTok, everybody commenting on this is pissed off at what Nick and Natalie had to say. So we'll share that. All these stories and more starts right now on The Rush. So we're going to dive right into this Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni story. You know, they're kind of like dripping out content as things are getting unsealed as they get ready for this March trial. Will it actually happen in March? I have no idea. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I told you if we got to 100,000 subscribers, I would be in New York City to report on it. I'm planning on holding my word with that. If that's when the trial happens, we'll have to see. All right, but check this out. So there was a text message thread that was just released. The question was asked, any word from the terrorists? And I believe they were referring to Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. Jamie Heath responded, ready to fight. Talk to Justin. Emily, who's Justin Baldoni's wife, says, F no, we're not writing any letter. She made this bed, now she can effing live in it. Let's fight, we're done. Justin says, well, you heard her, let's fight, no letter. So we are saying F off, no statement. And then the response to that is, I effing love Emily. And what letter are they talking about? Well, it's this letter. This was the letter from August 12th, 2024, that Blake Lively insisted that the Wayfarer team writes. I'll read it for you. It ends with us was a troubled production, which we take full accountability for. We are very sorry to everyone we caused upset to, privately and publicly. Again, Blake Lively penned this and wanted them to read it as if they wrote it. Blake Lively, Colleen Hoover, the entire cast and crew led with professionalism every step of the way. Any negativity aimed at them is ours to own. We mutually agreed that the cast would be promoting the film separately and understood why. We have always said we are not perfect, and even if unintentionally made mistakes, we will always own them. We hold ourselves accountable. It's not anyone's job but ours, and that's part of being man enough. Oof, man, they got his own quote in there. We will practice what we preach. We are learning and growing from the experience, and we thank everyone for their patience as we find a better way to proceed. We are very proud of the film and welcome arms that it's been received. Part of work is to have uncomfortable conversations for public growth. The film is doing that on screen, and we are doing that off screen. Thank you to the cast, crew, and public for the opportunity to be imperfect and to be given the space to learn and grow with humanity and dedication. So again, just as a reminder, that is what Justin Baldoni's wife, Emily, says, F no, we're not writing that. She made this bed, now she can effing live in it. And this bed that she made that they're referring to is the internet not liking Blake Lively. It wasn't some private smear campaign with no untraceable reasons. It was they didn't like her. They exposed kind of how she's always been, and it was her time. It was her time to be called out online. You hate to see it. All right, so there it is. Justin's saying, let's fight, and fight they shall. So anyway, this was a fascinating. We knew Emily was standing by her man, but good to see that early on they knew what they were up against, and rather than play whatever game they needed to play to keep it safe, Emily stood for her beliefs and wasn't going to be pushed around. You love to see it. I mean, this is everything you want in a partner. And by the way, I love them. Like my wife's the same way. Oh, are you kidding me? my wife publicly, she's gonna put on that good, Southern smile, but she will tell you, if you cross us, you are dead to us. That's my wife, and I guess that's Emily as well. So good on them. But yeah, wild stuff as we continue to triangulate this and see how it all plays out. Now, the Faux Moi Reddit account seems to be pretty pro Blake Lively. Although if you look at this, I was searching for this letter 10 months ago, and I guess it was deleted. But the comment sections were pretty pro Baldoni when people looked at this letter objectively when it was released. And again, because the letter has been out for a while, it was the Blake Lively, it was the Emily Baldoni comments that are new. But when this letter was released, people were like, "What are you talking about? Creating a statement on behalf of someone else is really effing weird behavior. This, regardless of what did or didn't happen, that's crazy." Someone said, "I'm on Blake's side on this whole debacle thus far, but this statement is effing weird." Well, if you're on Blake's side and you see how weird the statement is, that should lead you to question Blake's side, because they are willing to do and say whatever they need to do or say to, and by the way, if Baldoni owned up to this letter and signed off on it and said, "All right, whatever we need to do to make," they would have used this against him to extract control of the film. This would have been like them admitting what they did was wrong. I don't know if they'd be able to get the studio to pressure Baldoni to release control or whatnot, but I'm telling you right now, this had some evil stuff written all over it, so they weren't buying it. All right, let's move on from there. Bad Bunny is telling Taylor Swift to shake it off, as he is now Spotify's most streamed, I guess, artist, which, this is what's so funny about this whole debate about whether or not we should have him as the halftime show guy. It's like he's literally the most popular musician in the world. He's going to be performing the NFL halftime, and there's going to be a couple angry people demanding Lee Greenwood comes out there instead. And speaking of people that are streamed a lot online, how about this? Your boy is, YouTube has this new thing that they're doing, kind of like Spotify does it, where they compile who your biggest fans are. So this person, right? I've been sharing on Instagram, everyone that's been tagging me, but check on YouTube. This person right here has watched 414 of my videos this year. I'm sending a Starbucks gift card to the top listener or viewer on YouTube. So let me know. Can anyone beat 414? Go check it out. Go tag me on Instagram and we'll share it. But anyway, regardless of how many videos you watch, I appreciate all of you guys out there. We have another interesting story I wanted to dive into. Tara Reid, I've been following this. She claims she was drugged, and video footage showed her literally being dragged out of this bar or nightclub. Well, she tells TMZ, bottom line is no one ends up in the hospital incapacitated for over 8 hours after a drink. This after the police did an investigation, and the police says, look, we looked into it. Nothing happened to you. So they reviewed surveillance footage from the Chicago area hotel. There's no indication, at least based on the video they saw, anyone drugged Tara last month. Now listen, I on good record believe I was drugged once in France, and I know that because I too only had one drink and I was getting peeled off the floor afterwards. And all I can say is, people can slip drugs into people's drinks in ways that you wouldn't even believe, bumping into someone, doing something, whatever. So I don't know. I don't know if Tara Reid says she was drugged. I tend to believe her. I mean, you'd think you could get a blood test on that one, but either way, she's had her own set of issues, and so who knows. But wishing you the best out there for sure. Wanted to give this Luigi Mangione update. Lots come out this week regarding Luigi Mangione. Defense attorneys in the Luigi Mangione case are trying to block key seized evidence brought by the Pennsylvania officer who arrested Mangione. And why is that? Well, because they forgot to read him his Miranda rights. So here he is in Pennsylvania eating a breakfast sandwich. He says he's homeless. He gives a fake ID, and they start questioning him. But before they read his rights, have a listen.
19 minutes into the encounter, they read him his rights. The defense arguing that was too late. that typically when police take you into custody, they are to read you your Miranda rights so that way you know what you can and cannot say. Here, they encountered him, were asking him questions before they Mirandized him. This raises the grounds for the defense's constitutional argument that they violated his rights.
In court, George, we also saw body camera footage depicting Mangione in handcuffs and officers rummaging through his jacket and backpack. Defense attorneys want the contents of the bag excluded because the officers lacked a warrant. But we heard the officer testify Pennsylvania law did not require one at the time. Mangione is going to be back in court on Thursday for a third day of the suppression hearing, George.
All right, so if we get any information for the afternoon rush, I'll cover it. But I think this is fascinating stuff, watching this court case play out. This will be a big part of 2026. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When I come back, I'm going to share with you guys a crazy story coming out of Australia. They are banning social media for kids under the age of 16. I think it's a great idea. I don't know how this would work in our country with our freedoms being taken, but I think it's a good idea. We'll have that story and then the Nick Viall beef, all of that coming next. The Rush Hour is sponsored by Masterclass. With Masterclass, you can learn from the best to become your best. I actually gifted Masterclass to my brother who was looking for some self-improvement ideas. I gifted him a class about developing good, repeatable habits from Atomic Habits author James Clear. With Masterclass, you get thousands of bite-sized lessons across 13 categories that can fit into even the busiest of schedules. Turn your commute or workout into a classroom. With audio mode, you can listen to Masterclass lessons anytime, anywhere. With plans starting at $10 a month, billed annually, you get unlimited access to over 200 plus classes taught by the world's best business leaders, writers, chefs, and more. There's no risk. Every new membership comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Masterclass always has great offers during the holidays, sometimes up to as much as 50% off. Head over to masterclass.com/rush hour for the current offer. That's up to 50% off at masterclass.com/rush hour, masterclass.com/rush hour. The holidays are all about finding the perfect gift, but this time of year, not every deal is actually what it seems. Scammers are getting more creative to trick people into sharing their payment info through methods like fake shopping sites and giveaways that are too good to be true. Luckily, Cash App's 24/7 fraud monitoring helps detect and alert you for unusual card activity should someone gain access to your card, so you can act fast if something seems off. You can also lock or unlock your Cash App card instantly right in the app for extra control and peace of mind. Stay one step ahead of scams this season and keep your money secure with Cash App. For a limited time only, new Cash App customers can use our exclusive code to earn some additional cash. For real, just download Cash App, use our exclusive referral code SECURE10 in your profile, send $5 to a friend within 14 days, and you'll get $10 dropped right into your account. Terms apply. That's money. That's Cash App. Cash App is a financial service platform, not a bank. Banking services provided by Cash App's bank partners. Prepaid debit cards issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC. Promotions provided by Cash App, a Block Inc. brand. Visit cash.app/legal/podcast for full disclosures. So check this out. Annika Wells, the communications minister here in Australia, speaking out about next week, the ban will be issued for, people under the age of 16. No more social media. Have a listen.
In 1 week, Australia will become the first country in the world to ban under 16s from having social media accounts. With one law, we can protect Generation Alpha from being sucked into purgatory by predatory algorithms described by the man who created the feature as behavioral cocaine.
Listen, I think this is a great idea. You saw this happen in New York City where they tried to ban large beverages because they're so bad for you. And there's a lot of rights groups, human rights. They're saying, you can't do that. You can't tell people what they can or can't drink. And so I understand the legal aspect in our country of not being able to tell people what they can or can't do. Maybe it should be up to the parents to minimize, control of social media for kids. But I do love the idea of this, whether it's legal or not. I don't think anyone in their young to mid-teens should be on social media. I mean, it doesn't, you could have a phone, you could contact each other, but the apps, they suck it out of you. They drain your dopamine. It's not good for you. And yet we're kind of addicted because everyone else is on it. And it's like, if you could just ban it all, in these communities, you could just go back to being a kid again. Calling someone, hey, is Timmy there? I mean, my generation, I hate to sound old. If I wanted to like ask a girl on a date, I had to call the landline and just pray to God that the girl's dad didn't answer. And if he did, I would just hang up and try again at a different hour. And, we walked uphill both ways to go. Okay, you get the point. So either way, they're banning it, and good on them.
Teenage addiction was not a bug. It was a design feature. And on 10 December, there are going to be withdrawal symptoms. Teenagers will be upset. Some will fight to get back on. Some will manage to find their way around the tech and keep their accounts. But I truly believe the short-term discomfort will be worth the long-term benefits.
Yeah, I agree. Go for it. Listen, as someone who didn't have social media in my teenage years, I didn't get my first cell phone until I went off to college. I'm telling you right now, go back to dumb phones. You can track people. You can text people, call. Go back to human interaction. Short form content is very hard to live up to. And look, as adults, we use it for our business and things like that. I get it. Like it's part of the grind. It's in some ways, social media has can change people's lives for the better, but we as adults have a hard time controlling the addictive nature of it. How could children control that? All right, let's dive into this. Speaking of the addictive nature, boy, don't you like to see a car crash? We've got Nick Viall and Natalie Viall, Natalie Joy, talking about Whitney Leavitt. Now, Whitney Leavitt was on the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives show. She was kind of seen as a villain, and then she went on to Dancing with the Stars, did really well, and now got a role in Chicago. The same role, I believe, that Ariana Madix got after she was on Dancing with the Stars. Well, the reason I'm going to share this clip, it's going viral because people are really upset at the level of mom shaming that's going on by Natalie. Let's have a listen to what she had to say.
No, and it's like, I just can't imagine what is going through Whitney's head of like, I'm finally getting like everything I've ever wanted in my life. And it's obviously happening at a time where like she's got 3 kids who I'm sure like demand her attention just as much as Roxy Hart in Dancing with the Stars does. So it's just like fascinating.
Can you have children and also live your dreams? I guess that's the big question. Now, I think you can walk and chew gum at the same time. If I had 3 children, I would want them to know that their mom or dad performed on Broadway. What a great thing to say, hey, Timmy, you can do anything you want in life if you work really hard. Look at that. Your own mother's out there strutting her stuff on Broadway. How inspiring, right?
To your point, Mary, if Whitney just becomes, let's say for the next 6 years, she's Roxy from Chicago. I mean, she'll figure it out. It'll become their new life.
Yeah.
To Natalie's point, Whitney has gone from, all right, we're going to uproot our life. We're moving to LA. We're going to do Dancing with the Stars. And then now we're going to uproot our life. We're going to go to New York. We're going to do Broadway. It's a lot for all of them. I mean, it's yet to their credit. I mean, I am curious how they're making it all work.
People don't do Roxy for more than like a stint though, right?
But even to Natalie's point, I'm like, even if it's like a month, 2-month run,
True.
like she's still going to have 8 to 10 shows a week.
And then she's also like rehearsal, I feel like they're just, even
you get like one day off.
Like, Whitney Carson from Dancing with the Stars, who I know has 2 young boys, like during filming of Dancing with the Stars, it's like they depend so much on their, I don't know if they take their kids out of school. I don't know if they're just away from their kids for the
By the way, no, and again, no offense to school. No offense to school. We love our teachers. The education you get when you pursue your dreams in the arts is far more and far better of an education than learning about the War of 1812. I'm sorry. I'm like a big arts guy, and the idea that they're like, well, what about the kids? Whitney's husband, I believe, is a stay-at-home husband. God bless him, right? He knows that like the money's being made right now by Whitney, and this is it's so myopic to think that, well, we have to worry about the kids staying in class or whatever. It's like you're 3, 5, 7 years, whatever age they are. They're going to go get their experience traveling a little bit with their mom. They're going to, maybe they're going to go a little long distance for a minute. And she's a woman with her own autonomy to be able to pursue her dreams. And like I said, there'll be teachable moments that come from this, saying you can do anything it is in the world you want as long as you work hard for it. So, I mean, I don't know. And a lot of people are saying, oh, they're just mad because Whitney wouldn't give them an interview. And I'm telling you, a lot of people on TikTok are really upset by this.
Hey, Natalie Viall, how are you doing both? How are you on a podcast every day with your husband? How are you doing both? How are you doing both, Natalie? How are you doing both? How are you being a mom and being both? That's how fucking ridiculous you sound when you're coming after Whitney Leavitt for literally chasing her dreams. That's what you sound like. What is wrong with these people? Like, seriously, right when I make a video being like, oh, Nick Viall, like, and Natalie actually went for Jordan's husband, like, really hard, and that was actually really good to see, because I don't really like Nick Viall. If you saw season 2 of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, you know why. That man thinks he's a therapist when he's just a misogynist dressed up as a podcast host. So I was like, I don't really... So when he went after Jesse's husband, I was like, damn, is this a little bit of growth and reflection? Like, okay, cool, or does he just like being the bigger man in the room? I don't really know. But to see him and Natalie actually go in at Whitney Leavitt for being Roxy Hart in Chicago is all I needed to see. I'm so glad this man isn't hosting season 3 of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I can't even believe they let him host season 2.
All right, so listen, there's a lot of videos like this. I found it fascinating to see the pushback from women who are saying, "What are you talking about? Let the lady live her dreams." Now, look, you might want to retire from work and be a mom and stay at home and do whatever, do whatever the hell you want is really what it's all about. But I do think the best version of you is the person that's pursuing those dreams. So she'll be a better mother for doing this, for putting it all on the table and knowing, listen, when it rains, it pours. You don't always get to have this sort of lifestyle where you're able to possibly generate or receive generational wealth, not just because she's getting to go on Broadway, but check this out. Whitney posted this either as response or she's just not being fazed by her haters.
My one thing was I went into the Disney Channel building and I sat down with the president of Disney Channel and I said, I want to make history.
So if you can't see, that is Whitney Leavitt right there behind the desk at Disney ABC. So what does she have up her sleeve? I think she's got a film project. And here she was just 2 days ago as she gave the teaser that she'll be joining Chicago. So there's the name on everyone's lips is going to be. And then she turns around and the camera catches her. Right there. It's Broadway, baby. Speaking of Broadway, I'll be in New York Saturday, actually. I've got shows at New York Comedy Club and West Side, both on the Upper West Side locations. I think I have like a 6 o'clock show and a 10 o'clock show. It's going to be a great time. I've got other shows in New York. So make sure you go to my Instagram if you want to check those out. I will also be a good dad. I will be a good dad who also pursues his dreams. I promise you can do both. I mean, wild stuff, right? Am I crazy? I don't know. And look, I've seen people say, oh, Dave's got this like bone to pick with Nick Viall. I mean, it's because it's because they like you can see the negativity just boiling through their skin as they feign care for Whitney, right? They feign it. They're like, well, we don't know how she's going to be able to do it. Well, she'll figure it out, and we wish her the best. All right, that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed this morning episode of The Rush. This afternoon, we've got Turning Point USA, Candace Owens. They're going at it. It's wild. It's a crazy story. All that coming this afternoon. We'll see you then. I'm Dave, and this is The Rush.